Greetings, folks, and welcome to It's Great at 9.8 Slab City. First appearance of Manchester Black and the Elite. So, for those of you who are not in the know, the reason why I decided to showcase this issue is because James Gunn was announcing the Authority movie. The Authority is something that's near and dear to me because I've been reading the Authority. I was reading the Authority when they were the Warren Ellis's Stormwatch, and then they eventually evolved to what was now known as the Authority. Okay, and yeah, the reason I'm showcasing this book is because it's the first appearance of Manchester Black and the Elite, which is basically a play on the Authority. It's like the Authority was a parody of, oh, not a parody, like not really a parody, but what an evil version. I won't say evil, but like a regular folk version of the Justice League. Like, what if they thought like regular people did, weren't as idealist, weren't as nice as Superman, like merciful. Like, if you're a terrorist and you did bad things, they're going to end you. No ends, ifs or buts about it. If there's evidence, you're done. It's a wrap. Uh, they fought any and killed anybody who was unmerciful, any warlord that was caught, doing terrible things to people, and they find out, they would end you, right? And that's basically what Manchester Black and the Elite was in this issue, right? There was even an animated movie based on Justice League versus Superman versus the Elite. I forgot what it was, but it was like maybe mid 2000 ish, 2010 ish, mid around that time frame. You guys got to watch it. Anyways, um, what was awesome about this issue is one of the best single issues there ever was that I've ever read. See, back in the early 1900s or the late 1900s, early 2000s, when I was collecting comics as a teen, I was very focused more on Jim Lee art, Spider-Man, Todd McFarlane, Top Cow, those kind of things. And the X-Men, those are the books that I collected. I didn't really care much for anything other than that back then. And then as I got into college and read enough Wizard magazine, I was like, why the heck are these people reading this? They're not reading these issues or anything. Well, at the same time, I was hella broke, so I couldn't afford just about any comics. But I was a huge X-Men fan, so I just dedicated myself to X-Men. But I noticed that X-Men started to get kind of, and you read enough Wizard magazine, and Wizard magazine tells you, what's up. And this was before the internet, so all you could do is like listen to what other comic book folk, comic book people in the comic book shop say, and then Wizard was the one that kind of expanded my horizon. And yeah, this was the one of those issues that they recommended because yes, Superman was basically fighting the Authority, like at least Joe Kelly's version of the Authority and the Elite. Manchester Black. Manchester Black is basically a spoof on Jenny Sparks, who was one of my favorite characters in The Authority. When you guys get a chance to read it, I hope you do. It's really good. Really, some of the best stuff ever. Anyways, back on point. Manchester Black and the Authority, they were whooping on Superman, Superman's buns in this issue, like really whooping his buns. And Joe Kelly, because the Authority books were becoming more popular, like the deconstructionist era of the Justice League kind of stuff going on. It was real popular. It's gaining steam. People weren't being, taking the kind of campy uh, views on superheroism as popular anymore. And this issue reminded people like why it was important to still have a Boy Scout like Soup in charge. Because in this issue, Superman basically, after he was getting his butt kicked, he said, "Okay, well, fine, we'll play it your way." And Superman straight owned all of the Elite and basically looked like he had dang near killed them and maimed them and stuff, but he didn't. But yeah, I don't know. You just gotta watch it, and you reminded people why, if I was like y'all, then you'd be in a whole world of stuff. But that's why there's the truth, justice, and the American way, and to do things right. Otherwise, you'd be at the end of your own unmerciful ways. If I thought like you, and I'm more powerful than you guys, and I could easily have destroyed this world and reshaped it any way I wanted. But no, that's not how it works. I'm, trying to give you all a chance for redemption kind of stuff, which was really neat and put things kind of in perspective. And at the same time, like, mic drop against the authority and people who thought that, the deconstruction stuff was, the only trend to continue, that Superman was still relevant. So yeah, I love this issue. This issue was good. And yeah, let's have a look at it. Yeah, Action Comics 775, first appearance of Manchester Black and the Elite, and yeah, Joe Kelly's story, Doug Mankin, Lee Bermejo art, Tim Street, Bradstreet cover, Tim Bradstreet. Yeah, his stuff's really been known for the Punisher stuff recently, and yeah, I like his stuff, and this was actually pretty good. Yeah, you guys, if you guys never read Justice League and the Elite, the versus the Elite, this is where it begins, the first appearance of Manchester Black. And I believe that if they do release the Authority, and because the Authority was strictly Wildstorm back then, and now been integrated to the DC universe because, Jim Lee sold Wildstorm universe to DC way back in the early 2000s, late 1900s. So yeah, um, I believe that their version of the Authority is going to be may include Manchester Black. So while people are still sleeping on this would be a good idea to pick up Manchester Black. Now, I'm not going to lie, folks. I would much prefer that they do a movie based on the original Authority with Jenny Sparks, Jack Hawksmoor, Apollo Midnighter, the engineer, and Swift, and the Doctor. But if I know DC like I know DC, they're going to find a way to not do it that way. They're going to find a way to do things the way they try to make sense of it now, which whatever's, who cares? Nobody cares what we think. Everybody cares about, what they think is relevant. Yeah. But, I'm a type of person that's more about the OG source material and working in the spirit of the OG source material. So yeah, I'm going to doing a Slab City next on the Authority and Stormwatch, and all the stuff that were relevant to the things that James Gunn had introduced in his DCEU roadmap for movies and stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I was able to get this cheap on eBay while people are kind of sleeping on it. I have a feeling that this is going to be a thing. So yeah, while people are sleeping on it, now would be a good time to get it before these things start to pick up in price. So yeah, to me, it's going to be a relevant enough key. All right, folks, this is all I got for this segment of Slab City. It's great at 9.8, the Action Comics 775 version. I'm your host, Coco Smooth. Oh, this is what it was like back then. See that PlayStation? I believe this was even for PlayStation 1. Yeesh. Yeesh. Yeah. Spyro. Year of the Dragon. Yeah. Anyways, folks, yeah. That's all I got for this segment of Slab City. It's great at 9.8. 9.8. I'm your host, Coco Smooth. Until next video, ciao.